Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Healing from CPTSD course. So in today's module, we're going to be talking about beginning your journey to recovering from CPTSD. Now, you may have heard this before in other places of support for CPTSD and narcissistic abuse, or you may not have, but the truth is, the very first thing that you ideally need to do to start your journey to total recovery is to get yourself to a safe place. The truth is, it's only when you get yourself to a safe place that full and total healing can happen. However, I do understand that many of us who struggle with CPTSD have significant difficulty functioning in day-to-day life and consequently may have to be living in a situation that is not ideal at this point. Maybe you're having to live with a toxic parent or two because you are having trouble functioning and holding down jobs. You might be living with an abusive and toxic spouse or partner whom you are having trouble getting away from. There are many reasons why getting to a safe place isn't necessarily feasible at this exact moment in time, so that is okay. Just put it in the back of your mind that the number one ideal for your overall health and well-being, as well as your total recovery process, is to ultimately get to a safe place for yourself and your healing. Perhaps you can start thinking of ways to escape your situation and put together an action plan as well as a time frame for doing so. I promise you that no matter how difficult your situation may be, getting out of it is possible. As they say, where there's a will, there's a way, and you can definitely do this. However, I'd also like to say that even if you can't get to an absolutely safe and peaceful place at this stage in your life and recovery, that contrary to what many people say, you can start working on yourself and your own healing wherever you are now. While you won't be able to heal 100% while still in a toxic environment, there is a lot you can do to start the process of healing, as well as do a number of things that will empower you where you are. Furthermore, dealing with CPTSD may have you in an emotional position where you are alone and somewhat isolated and feel that you can't get to places like group therapy, workshops for healing and empowerment, 12-step groups, or even to an actual therapist. While a large part of healing from CPTSD centers around what's called relational healing and learning to have open and trusting emotional connections with others, whether they are therapists, friends, loved ones, or anyone else, the truth is much, and I would honestly argue all of your healing can be completely done on your own. Now, I know for some people that might sound a bit contradictory and maybe even a bit radical, but after everything I have been through in my life as far as healing and personal development is concerned, I can 100% tell you that healing can be done completely on your own. And for those of us who deal with CPTSD, that couldn't be better news, am I right? And don't worry, I will show you how to heal relationally on your own as well, so you don't necessarily have to have someone else in your life to heal with if you don't want to. Now I'd like to share with you something I created to help understand and gauge what we call emotional health and well-being. Many of us have had trouble identifying what we were actually feeling, let alone how to express it. And frankly, I found that for many people, myself included, the whole area of emotional healing and well-being was a bit of a vague, hazy mystery. With that in mind, I decided to put together a simple system that can show you what is needed in order to achieve and maintain optimal emotional health and well-being. I call this system the 8 pillars of emotional health and well-being. These 8 pillars do take into account overall emotional health and well-being for your everyday person, but they're also designed to take into account those who struggle with more intense emotional issues like CPTSD. So the 8 pillars of emotional health and well-being are as follows: cognitive healing, emotional healing, somatic healing, assertiveness and effective communication, free self-expression, self-compassion and inner child work, relational healing, and emotional flashback management. As stated previously, these 8 pillars allow one to have something of a visual gauge to see what emotional areas need to be tended to in order to have optimal emotional health and well-being. Each of these 8 pillars will be covered in each module, and you will be shown exactly what you need to do in order to heal and maintain each area. And with that, we will conclude today's module with a simple exercise for today. So the simple exercise for today is just to start thinking about a safe place that you can get to for your ideal safety and security. Even if you're not in a position currently where you can leave a toxic spouse, partner, or anyone else, you can at least start picturing yourself and your life in a healthy place. Maybe you feel a sense of fear or insecurity around this, but I promise you that your fear is irrational because you do have the power to do, be, and accomplish anything you want in your life. Maybe you are worried about money and how you'll be able to afford living on your own. Well, maybe you could also start thinking of ways to earn money that aren't too stressful for you and that actually allow you to earn money while dealing with and healing from CPTSD. You don't have to come up with any definite answers today. The idea is simply to start the wheels turning in your mind about where you'd ideally like to go or be and start thinking of creative ways to make this happen financially. You can write these ideas out in your notebook if you'd like, or just think about them. If you feel that these thoughts are too stressful for you, it's perfectly okay, and there's no need to push past what's comfortable for you at this point or to try to figure everything out. This is simply all about brainstorming for your own overall and long-term life, happiness, joy, and well-being. So think it over a little, and I will see you in tomorrow's module.